So as a life coach, it is super common for people to come to me that are complaining about feeling bad. They feel really angry, they feel really sad, they feel really stressed. And of course, some of the first questions I'm going to ask somebody like this is like, well, what have you been thinking about recently? And sometimes the attitude is something like, well, I'm coming to you about my feelings. Like, why are we talking about my thoughts? So I thought today I would do a video about why it is so important to understand your thinking, because that really does have an effect on the way you feel. So if you want to find out more about this fascinating topic, then be sure to keep watching. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a mindset coach and law of attraction teacher, and you have found my YouTube channel where I upload 2 new videos a week all about the art of mindset and manifestation, which I combine together to help you guys create your best life ever. So if that sounds like something that you are interested in, then be sure to keep watching. So as I said at the top of the video, people often come to me because they are not feeling great. They are feeling angry, sad, stressed, anxious, whatever. And what I really want to know when people come to me with a situation like this is, what are you thinking about? What is the core thought? Where is this feeling coming from? And sometimes there's a little bit of kickback because people are like, they don't really understand the connection. They're like, well, I just feel bad, and I feel anxious because of work, and if only this person at work would treat me better, or if my job would change, or my husband would do this, or if something in my exterior world would change, then I'd feel better. So I'm just kind of coming to you in the meantime, hoping that my external world will change. So that isn't really the way, unfortunately, it works. Unfortunately, what is really happening is we are creating our feelings from our thoughts. And this is not something that many people know. So if this is the first time you've heard this information and you're like, whoa, like, trust me, I get that. I was totally exactly the same way. Because we are all taught that we experience something in life and that makes us feel a certain way. And like, we're even taught this as little kids. Like when you're a kid, you are taught not to hurt your friends' feelings. Like, don't do that because it will hurt so-and-so's feelings. And really that whole line of thinking needs to get checked out because it isn't actually true. So when you're in like a physical fight and somebody punches you and you hurt because you got punched, like that is a very real physical thing that happens. But what happens in real life when we say something or someone says something to us and we feel bad about it? We like to think that it's the same thing as the punch, right? We think that this person saying these words to us has the exact same effect as a fist hitting us, right? So then if someone says something mean, it must be that person's fault. But that's not really the case when it comes to ideas and to thoughts and to feelings. So the example that I've used here on this channel before is the idea that maybe you're walking down the street and somebody says something to you that's kind of rude, like, ugh, I really hate your red pants. And you're like, I'm not wearing red pants. And you carry on your merry way and you never even think about it ever again, right? So in that case, somebody said something to you that you knew was not true, therefore you didn't even care. It did not bother you, it did not upset you at all. But what's happening when somebody says something mean to you in real life that hurts you is that on some level you're agreeing to it. On some level it is giving you some sort of feeling, like it's resonating. You are buying into this idea somehow, and that is really what's upsetting to you. It's not really the words of this other person that are hurting you, even if they're telling you direct words to your face. It's your idea about the words that is hurting you. Our ideas about the world are what hurts us. So when someone comes to me and says, I'm so angry, I want to know, what story have you created about this anger? Why do you feel this anger? What is happening here? I need to know the root of where it's coming from. The same with anxiety, the same with the sadness, the same with the stress. You are creating a story about something that is making you feel this way. So I know when it comes to hiring a life coach, people come to me and want me to be on their team. They want me to be like, well, yeah, you should just quit your job, or, you know, divorce your husband, or do this or do that. And in some circumstances, that's the right thing to do. But most of the time, when we change an outer circumstance, our brain is just going to find something new in another area to get upset by, because our brain's job is partially to keep itself busy. So our brain loves to look around the world and look for a problem to obsess about, for something to get angry about, for something to get anxious about. This is what our brain does. And our brain is very useful, obviously, in so many ways, but it also spends a whole lot of time and energy on things that don't really matter. That is just the way it works. So the problem then is that if I tell you, yes, you should leave your husband, yes, you should leave your job, yes, you should leave and do something different, change your external reality somehow, the problem hasn't really gone away, because the problem is still up here, and the problem is going to come back in another form, because your brain, again, is going to look for the same things in a different situation. So this is really why it's so important to A, understand that your thoughts create your emotions, and B, understand that your external reality really doesn't affect the way you feel. We all love to think that if we control everything, if everyone would just act the way we want them to, then our life would be great and we could finally be happy. But what we really need in order to be happy is to understand how our brain works, so that we can untangle ourselves, so we can, you know, minimize the story, so we can not take the bait that our brain is putting us out there to take. So when you learn how to do that, that is really when you become unfuckable. That is really when you get control over your life. So yes, in other words, when it comes to feeling bad, when it comes to feeling anxious, stressed, angry, whatever it is, your thoughts have everything to do with it. Your thoughts have everything to do with it. And the problem will continue to come around in one form or another until you learn how to deal with the problem itself, which is learning how to manage your mind. So it's never about changing how people behave towards you. It's never about the job. It's never about the guy. It's never about whatever. It is about you and learning how to think new thoughts that make you feel better. So my friends, you are conscious creators. You get to write your story. You get to write any story you want to. And sometimes it's easy to forget that because we get stuck up in our narrative that our brain has just created. But I want you guys, again, to remember the wonderful words of Esther Perel. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? And if you are really serious about your happiness, this is something you need to understand. Choose happiness. Choose the story that doesn't hurt. Choose writing things that feel good instead of defaulting to always feeling bad. Okay, so on that note, if you guys are interested in working with a life coach, I am currently booking slots for January. I would love to work with you guys one-on-one in a 90-day container. And if you want to learn more about that, you can come on over to the site and have a look. I will leave a link in the description box below. I've also recently created a whole page of freebies for you guys. So it has my fear workbook in there. I've got a how to feel better training, all kinds of stuff. If you want to come over to www.thealignlife.co/free, you can pick and choose whatever you want out of the freebie pile, and I will hook you up with that right away. So if you guys like this video, please do me a favor, give it a like. If you know someone that could use this message, pass this along to them. I would so love your help in expanding this community. It's growing and changing every day, so thank you guys so much for being here. If you want to watch more, I will leave my latest upload right here, and if you want to keep joining me to see all of my videos as they come out, hit the subscribe button right here. Other than that, I will be back here in the next video, so I'm wishing you an amazing, transformative week, and as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.